Hello everyone, this is Acom22, and today we are going to do a tier list on the Marrow sports games, at least the ones that I've played. Some of these will not be ranked because I do not, or I have not played some of them before, but I played enough to make a video on some of these. Plus, I want to try something a little new with my content and try and talk more about video games and go more in depth about them and my personal opinions. And I've been wanting to do that forever. So I want to see how this goes, see what you guys think. If you guys want more, let me know. And I hope you guys enjoy it. So we're going to start off. I'm going to start off with the not played category first. So I'll rank those first. Okay, there we go. We got all the games and not played. So that will be, you guys won't see me fiddle around with it, but that is the official order. I would go from left to right that I would be most interested in playing when it comes to the Marrow sports games that I haven't played yet. And I'll talk more about those after and go more in depth of why I have it in that order. But for now, we're going to stick with the games that you guys are here for to see, more importantly, the ones I've played, possibly you have played. So in this tier list, I'm going to go based on my sole opinion, based on what I like, how much detail and overall fun, different mechanics and gameplay and stuff that you can do, all that fun jazz, So we're going to probably go in order. I hope this is in order. We got Mario Golf for the Nintendo 64. I haven't spent a whole lot of time playing this game. I have played quite a bit, though. Now, I played this when I was a kid. I owned it, and I sold it pretty quickly because I didn't like it, and that was mostly because I was bad as a kid, truthfully. It is still a hard game. It's a very difficult game. It's very spot on, like, I want to say it's more like a realistic vibe. Like, it's very picky, and you have to really watch where, like, you're swinging and use the meter and stuff. Because that's how most golf games are, where there's a meter and stuff. But as I got older, I did rebuy it, and I still own it. Did not sell it again. But I learned to respect it, It's still a fun game in a way, but it's not something I would go out my way to play on a consistent basis, I feel like there's just better options in the Mario Golf series that you could play, in my personal opinion. But if someone were to play it, I would be like, sure, we could play it for one round of golf. I got no problem with that. But on my spare time, I probably wouldn't play it. But yeah, it's got a lot to it that I haven't explored yet. Like, I know there's I think there's like a ring challenge, I think, just like in Toadstool Tour. I'm not sure though. I know there's like other special modes and stuff that you can do. I think there's some like co-op things too in there. So there is some like fun to it for sure, and a lot of stuff you can do, Overall, I think it's an okay game. I think it deserves C. My heart is telling me C for now. Like, it's fine for what it is, and today some people still love it and say it's still up to par with today's gaming. So I think it's got a well place at C, personally. It's a very high C. If I probably was younger and enjoyed it a lot more, I would probably put it in B, but for now I gotta put it in C. It's fine golf. It's fun, but I don't really see myself playing it much. Alright, next game. Mario Tennis on the Nintendo 64, the debut of Waluigi back in 2001. Oh my god, this game as a kid I enjoyed so much. This was one of my favorite, and I mean one of my favorite Nintendo 64 games I ever played. I played this so much as a kid. It just I really like the uniqueness and the characteristics of the characters, like when they score and stuff, or the just the personality it had. Like, they were just so different. And it wasn't the first tennis game, obviously, that they made, but I think it was the first, yeah, it was the first Mario Tennis 3D on, like, a home console. So, you gotta think of it that way. It's an older game that was so much fun, and I think I only got it for, like, $10 back in the day, so $10 for it was, like, so worth it to me. I was like, "Man, that $10 was really worth." Now, there's more stuff I haven't played in it. I've usually played just basic tennis, and to some degree, as I am older now, like, when I play it, it's tennis in the end, so it's like, it can get stale pretty quickly, you know? I would have to say probably tennis is the least favorite out of all these sports games, really, personally. It's just kinda just hit a ball back and forth, you know? Just it can get repetitive. But, Mario Tennis on the 64, fantastic game. I know there's more stuff in there that I haven't touched upon, like, I know there's, like, you can use items and have more Mario themed in there and stuff, which I need to play sometime because that looks like a lot of fun. I have played this with people too before in person. Also fun. It's always fun playing with them. I would love to one day play like a 4-player Mario Tennis on the 64. That would be really fun. I've only played up to like 2 people, me and one other person. Man, there's just so much about this game that is just so nostalgia and fun. See, I would say A. I don't think it's quite A, you know? Like, back then, I would have probably put a strong A, but today, it has some lack going on there. It's still fun, of course, but there's some lack, but I think a solid B is a good spot for it. It's a well-deserved game, you know? I recommend anybody to play it, you know? You're gonna have a blast with it. If you don't like tennis, then I guess don't play it. Or if you don't like Mario, then don't play it either. I don't know. But I would say if you want to try a new sports game and you want to play a classic, definitely try that one out. It's definitely worth the play, for sure. Alright, now we're on to GameCube territory. We got Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix. Now, I can't really form too much of an opinion on this game yet. But I have played Dance Dance Revolution back in my day. I don't remember which one it was, but it was definitely on the PS2. It's actually how I know a lot of songs that I still listen to somewhat today. Uh, but anyway, not regular Dance Dance Revolution, but Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix. Now, I know people say that it's not good. Come on, it's Dance Dance Revolution, man. You can never go wrong with having a little fun with dancing on the pads, you know what I mean? So I think it deserves more respect than it actually has. Maybe like I said, I haven't played much of it to really form too much of an opinion on it, but I like the idea of dancing on the pad, just like in regular Dance Dance Revolution, you know? Now, is it as good as Dance Dance Revolution, the original? No, probably not. Absolutely not. I don't think it could top it, but I think it still has a good spot on the ranking here. And I'm gonna give it. I think I would enjoy. See, I want to put it here, but I don't because I really like tennis. So I'm actually gonna put it lower than tennis. We'll give it a lower B for now. Like, I definitely see myself playing that way more than golf for sure. Like, if I were to have a party with people, I'm definitely saying we're doing this because this is gonna be fun. You know, let's just be goofy and dance on the pads. You know. Because if you're having a party, what are you gonna play golf? I don't think so. So I think this is good for party purposes, really. Definitely over golf, but I still like tennis more. So yeah, I can't really form too much opinion on it. But so from what I've played one round, it's fun. I think it has potential of being more fun. Maybe there's more to it that I don't know, but I think it deserves a good ranking here. Like, it's not perfect game by all means, but it's definitely not the worst, you know? There's a lot worse games on this list for sure. But anyway, moving on, we got the first GBA game here. Mario Golf Advance Tour. Now, I did play this as a kid. I borrowed it from a longtime friend, from a long ass time ago, a former friend. He had this game, and I did borrow it from him. And it was very stressful. It was a very hard game for me back in the day. But again, I was just a kid at that point, and I did play it on the Wii U Virtual Console at one point, and I did enjoy it to an extent. Now, I know there's a story mode into it too, which is really fucking cool, you know? Like, that's really cool that they added, like, a whole story to it, and you actually play as, like, yourself kind of thing, even though there's based modeled characters with your name on it, like, kind of like Legend of Zelda games with where, hey, what's your name? And you play as Link, you know? But you can give Link a new name. It's kind of like that. But it's still cool. It's like it's still technically you, and you get to play in the Mario universe, you know, and play golf. So I think it's a really good idea, and I want to stream it at some point and play it. Um, I did, like I said, I did play the exhibition mode on my own one day on the Wii U Virtual Console a few years back. And I think it's fun. It's just kind of like Toadstool Tour. It's like a downgrade of it for sure, but it's still really cool. I'm gonna probably give it. See, I would put it up here, but I haven't played it enough to really put it up here, you know? Like, I see it potentially being A, okay? Don't get me wrong. It's gonna be potential A, I'm sure, with the story and whatnot, and if I play it more, but I think I'm gonna put it at a high B. I'm gonna put it over tennis, because there's just so much more to offer from that game than tennis, I believe, from what I understand and see from it, and what I've played, you know? So that's just my opinion on it. I think that's a good spot. I might switch some things around. I might move stuff down. Maybe I might put Dance Dance Revolution down here, but we'll see as we add more games. So for now, let's continue. We got Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. Now, this isn't even a question. I love this game. This game is fantastic. Love everything about it. I could talk about this game forever. People will ask me my opinion on this game. I'll be like, I love it. It's great. It's fantastic. Beautiful atmosphere. The music just fits so well with it too. Like in every course. It was tough to start. It's very, I will say, for a beginner, it is tough to get into because the controls are strange. But once you figure out those controls, this game is so much fun. There's so many different modes, man. So many. Like, there's birdie challenge, there's ring attack, I think it's called, or yeah, I think that's what it's called, ring attack. You got drive or try and get it close to the pin challenges and stuff. There's so many like different things you could do. And the characters are so good in that too. The animations, the characteristics of them. They all have different effects when they hit it as hard as they possibly can on a drive. Like Yoshi's is a rainbow as well as Birdo. Mario has like a fire effect. Bowser has a fire effect, but it has like black smoke. So cool, man. And that's just to name off a few. Oh man, this like I just don't get how people can dislike it. Like I can at the start, but if you really play it enough, this game is fantastic. Just the courses themselves are just amazing. It's very Mario-like. You got Princess Peach's castle theme in there with like mushrooms, just kind of like on the cover here with the chain chomps in the way. Go over hills. There's even King Babam at one of them. You got Bowser's Place. That course is very hard. I think the best I've ever done that is probably like a -1. Barely even that, you know? Barely. It's a very tough stage. But it's fun. I like it. I like that they had that Mario theme to it, man. It's just so good. But I'm not going to rant on about it too much. You guys get the point. It's really good. Like, once you know how to play it, it's so good. And if you actually appreciate like all the Mario themes to it and like that, then absolutely. It is 100% recommended by me. But I can understand why people would put it lower because it is a pretty difficult game. But if you learn it enough and play it enough, promise you it's a great time. All right, next on the GameCube, we have Mario Power Tennis. I played this one recently, actually. I did. And it's fun. It's tennis, you know. I do like the gimmicks to it for sure. It's just not my personal favorite though. I don't think I would put it above N64 personally. And I know a lot would probably be like, "What?" I know. The AI it is not good in the game. It's very easy. I feel like with 64 they actually had a more difficult AI, where this one is just kind of like they do a similar path every time. They don't adapt whatsoever. And it's just kind of tennis in the end too. Now, I do like the special moves that they do, like the offense and defense special moves. Like I think that was a really great addition. I wish they kept that in the newer ones, but that's besides the point. So it's still a very good game. It's just I don't think it's anything better though. So I'm gonna put it just below 64 because you could argue that, at least for me, I could argue that some days maybe I probably like this better, but I think most days I would like the 64 version better. We might actually move Dance Dance Revolution down. We're gonna move it down. We're gonna put it in C because we've got a lot of B going on here, and maybe I'm being a little too good on the Dance Dance Revolution, so we'll bring it down to C as well. But anyway, back to Power Tennis. It's a fun game. It's got good mechanics. It works like a charm. I think anybody would have fun with it. Very great ideas. It has great courses that are Mario themes too. There was one that I didn't like because it gave me kind of like. It's kind of weird because I never had much motion sickness, but the one Bowser stage where it kind of tilts a bit messes with my eyes and makes my head spin. So that's one thing I didn't like. Regardless though, besides that, it is really fun. I like the gimmicks, and I think anybody would like it too. So give it a shot for sure. I definitely recommend it. All right, next game. Next GameCube game we got is Super Mario Strikers. Fantastic game. I like it so much. This is my favorite one out of all of the Striker games for sure. It does lack a lot of content, but it's so fun and aggressive and everything. Now the controls are a little weird at some points, like it doesn't seem so responsive at times. I think, like, especially when you're, like, sprinting. I guess that's made on purpose, though, because you kinda get a little distant from the ball, and you're kinda uncontrollably controlling it. But, man, it is such a great time. I like that they got the super strikes, it's called. Get 2 points for doing that. I'm gonna give it an A. It's definitely well deserved in the A category for sure. It's very fun. Great animations, different theming for Mario too. It's like I said, it's very edgy and aggressive, and I love that. Like, it's just a different side of these Mario characters, full of like rage and stuff they've been just holding in forever. And I love stuff like that. So I really thought it was a great idea that they did that with Strikers. So definitely well deserved A. Now I would put it in S, but like I said, there's just some things that it's lacking in, like more content wise, because there wasn't too much content to it, but it is still a great game. I feel like anybody who picks it up will play it and have fun with it. The chaos is just so much fun. You can never go wrong with this game. All right, next we got Mario Superstar Baseball. I do love this game. I actually just recently got all the superstars for every character, and that was the first time in my entire life I ever done that. And I still play this game, so that means I still play this game to this day. I think it deserves an S because it still lives on. I've been playing that game forever, and I don't get sick of it. Now, there's definitely flaws within that game for sure. I mean, there's flaws with every game, but the flaws for this one that sometimes have me thinking is the AI is very weird. Like, sometimes, like, even at the hardest difficulty, you would think, like, oh, so they're gonna hit the ball a lot more often, they're gonna do this and that, you know. Sometimes, no. Sometimes they're very easy. Sometimes they're very hard. It's like the difficulty level changes on them, and I'm not understanding why that's the case. Because sometimes they just let the ball by and they don't even swing at all. Other times they'll swing it all every single time and crank it out to the outfield and hit a home run for zero reason. But and other times they'll not even power up and hit a home run. It's like, for what, you know? But that's just some of the flaws I have. Now, what makes this game great? Personality of these characters. That's for certain. And not only do they have a personality, but also in that category, they actually have communication and personality with other characters. And what I mean by that is I have this whole chemistry thing, that's what it's called, where if they like a character very much, they're going to work really well with them. Now, if they don't like a character, they're going to do really bad with them. So say, like, I don't know, I'll give an example. Like, Bowser and Mario don't like each other clearly, right? So if you put them on a team, you got Mario at second, Bowser at first, and Mario goes to throw it at Bowser, they'll make an error where Mario will throw it not at directly at first base where Bowser is. Bowser has to actually move and catch the ball and be like, what the heck is that, you know? So you gotta, it's really strategy when it comes to this game. Like, who's gonna work well together? Who can I put on the team? You know? And there's so many other abilities that are just built into some of these characters. Like Monty Mole, he can run around with the ball and he goes super duper fast. Same with Goomba. Uh, Pianta has a laser beam throw where he could be out in the field and somebody's going home. He could just launch that ball all the way down from the outfield to the home base, and you could get him out easily just like that. There's he's a semi decent fielder somewhat, but he's very slow. Like, there's so much opportunities and different choices you can make in that game and see what works best for you, or you know, whatever you think is best. Like, there's definitely different situations you could put yourself in and test it out. whether you want a character in the infield or the outfield for a specific reason. There's so many different opportunities and different things you could add to it. There's so much replayability. Like, yeah, it's baseball, but it's Mario baseball with characters who do well with others, and the courses and stages are good as well. I think it's a fantastic game. It does have its flaws for sure, not denying that, but I think out of majority of these sports games, that is one of the best out there for sure. Played it as a kid, loved it. Still today, I love it. It's still a fun game. Is it stressful? Absolutely. It gets my blood pressure up. I get tense from it sometimes, but it's so much fun. Anyway, I could talk about it some more, but that's a prime example why I love it. So, next on the list is Mario Hoops 3-on-3. I loved this game as a kid. I really did. If I was grading this back in the day when I loved it, easy S tier. I loved it so much. But nowadays, I don't think it aged too well. I hate saying that because I loved this game, but it's kind of basic and the controls are weird, and maybe that's because I played it on a Wii U Virtual Console. I'm not putting an A tier, I don't think. We'll put it back. Hold on. There we go. But because I haven't decided where to put it. But anyway, yeah, it lacks something. It just doesn't feel right. And like I said, maybe it's because I played it on the Wii U. Maybe I had to play it on the original, I guess 3DS, because I have a 3DS, not a regular DS. But maybe that's the case. I don't know. But there's games I played on the Wii U that from the DS that I really enjoyed still, you know? So I don't think that's the case, but if it is, maybe it is. Maybe that's changed my opinion about the game. But I still want to get this game at some point, though. I gotta re-get it at some rate. But for now, I hate doing this, but I have to put it on a low end. I don't see myself playing it much, really. I'll probably like stream it, and that'll probably be it. Maybe I might go back to it, but it still holds a soft spot in my heart. But I don't think it's a game I really would play much. I like the ideas that it has. The special moves are really cool. I never performed them myself, but they are super duper cool for sure. I like the character roster. I love the music. I love the ideas and the themes for it. It's fantastic. But I don't feel like the gameplay has done the best. And maybe that's just, I'm not sure, honestly, how to like describe it. It's just kind of, it's good. It had its good run in the past, but today's standards, when you go back, it's not as good. And maybe because I haven't stuck with it as much and now I just suck at it, maybe I have a different opinion. But maybe because it's on a handheld, I'm not sure. But I think anybody, if they gave this to their kid would enjoy it a lot. I think as you get older, it's something that kind of just want to leave in the past, I think, a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe there's some that are like, man, I still love this game. That's great. I understand that completely because it was a fun game for sure. But for me personally, I can't say I like it better than the games I have up above. And maybe that will change. Maybe when I replay it, it will change. I think it might, but I still think it has great concepts, and I think it still fits with all these tennis games, sports games. It's lacking a bit, you know. It has something just lacking there, and the controls are weird. I don't think they aged well at all, but you could probably get used to it. There's times where you could play a game that's kind of weirdly controlled, and you can get used to it for sure, but it's got to take a long time. But that's enough about that game for sure. I don't want to talk about it because I don't have much to say. I don't want to keep bashing it, and I don't want to say I love it, but give it a low ranking, you know. I could see it maybe like probably like surpassing like the tennis games maybe, but I can't put it any higher for now. I'm gonna put it in C. Maybe if I put too much in C, maybe I'll put it on a low B, but for now it's gonna stay at high C. Anyway, moving on. We got Marrow Super Sluggers. Now, either people prefer this one compared to the GameCube one, or they prefer the GameCube one over this one. It is. I love it personally. I think it's a great game. It was hard for me to like compare this one to the GameCube because I love the GameCube one as much as like I said earlier, but this one was just so good, man. It was so good. It maybe I went into it not expecting too much, but they did more than I thought. Like they definitely take the concept of what they had on GameCube and added more to it. Now, even though I'm pretty sure I prefer the GameCube one over because I play it more than the Wii. But the Wii one, it had more characters. It had, I think, better design and more courses, or not courses, but stadiums. Like they have Daisy Cruiser in there. They got Luigi's Mansion. They have Junior's Place. They have Bowser's Castle, a whole new Bowser's Castle. Mario Stadium's kind of the same, pretty much. It's a little different, but it's no different, really, too much. But the DK Jungle is definitely different. Wario Place, it's a city instead now, instead of a desert. That's really cool. This big ass head in the middle, you can hit when you hit a home run. It's so dope, man. Gameplay wise, I think it's the gameplay that takes it from me on GameCube. And the reason being, I don't like how the pitchers get tired so quickly after like 3 pitches. Now, I know that's a bit exaggerated, but it's kind of true, because, like, yes, in Mario Superstar Baseball on the GameCube, they do get tired, but I feel like they stick around a lot longer, you know? You could still get through at least, like, majority of the game if you don't let, like, 5 runs in 1 inning, you know? Like, that makes sense why a character would be like, oh, this isn't working, you should probably change pitchers. When you're letting 5 runs go, sure, I get that. That's why I like that more. And some might think that's a dumb opinion, but it's true. Like, I don't like having to keep continuously changing pitchers after, like, just 2 innings, man. Like, I think I played it recently with a friend, and he got, like, 2 hitters on base, or got it bases loaded, and he didn't score. But then my character just got tired of pitching. He didn't. It's like, after 2 innings, man? Really? You're already tired? Like, come on. So it's just unfortunate. Like, I don't like that for that reason. It's not much of a problem, but it's still kind of dumb to me. And the story mode is interesting, but it's mostly just doing challenges and talking to characters, and they ask you to do things. I have to play it someday on stream. I think it's fine, but I kind of liked how Mario Superstar Baseballs was a little bit more. And it doesn't mean I don't like the story for this. Oh my god. Okay, I'm messing up things. Sorry. Hold up. All right, there we go. But anyway, I still think this is a good, like, story-based thing and associating with characters. I think it was a good idea. I think some people say it's executed poorly. I don't think so. I think it's still good. I love the motion controls. Usually people will be like, oh, motion controls, and set away by it. But not me. I actually enjoyed it. I think it worked well. I think they did a good job on the motion controls in the game. I still go back and play it once in a while. It's still a great time. I love it. Like I said, I don't think it's better, just slightly not better than the GameCube one, but still a fun game, man. Like, the baseball series is just fantastic. I love both of them. Fortunately, there's only two, and they're both good. And I think there's been some hints that there's going to be a third one on the Switch, and I would say yes to that, but we'll get to that after with the opinions of the sports games on there. So, but yeah, this is a respected S tier. It's on the lower end of S tier for sure, but fantastic. It's definitely recommended. I think it deserves a lot more respect personally. Sometimes it gets overtaken by the GameCube one, which I understand why, but that doesn't mean this one's bad at all. It's still great. I don't know why people hate on it when they do. They probably think like, "Oh, motion controls, it's dumb." But the motion controls felt fine. I had no problem. You could even use it in a different way. You could hold it horizontally, the controller, and play it like an actual controller. If you don't like the whole motion controls, you can even use a nunchuck. I don't prefer it that way. I just use a single Wii remote, but I think it's good. Now, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, they have like with the partner system, if there's two characters out in the field that do well, they can actually counter a home run. You can actually make them jump in the air and catch it. It is so good addition because it's so easy to get home runs in that game. So it's good to have fielders out there that can like counter the home runs. I think that was a great idea. It makes it more exciting, and you have to actually time it and perfect time it and catch it. And oh yeah, you could throw items too. There's so many great things. See, this is why I like it. It has great ideas and great additions to it for sure. But I could ramble on about it forever, so I won't. But you get the idea. There's so many great additions to it that I can see why people would put it over the GameCube one. But me, I think it has to go that way, and it's just a slight bit. It's just a tiny bit. Just a little itty bitty bit. Alright, the next Wii game we have is Mario Strikers Charged. As a kid, I did not like that game. I did not like it. I was very disappointed because I really loved the Mario Strikers game on the GameCube. Nowadays, when I rebought it, because I did sell that as well, as I was so bad at it, I did rebuy it for about the same price I got it for, because they didn't really change the price in it, really, compared from back then to today. Or maybe about a year ago I got it. But anywho, I played it, and I learned to respect it. I do enjoy it a lot more now. I think now that I'm like more matured and play it now, I do like it. So why I didn't like it? I didn't like that the super strikes were so overpowered in it. I did not like it at all. That you could score, I think the max was... Am I going crazy, or could you get like 4 or 5 or 6 or 7? I don't remember, but I'll probably put it up on the thing when I look it up. I'm not going to look it up right now, but when... I don't like that you could score that much in one goal, possibly. The motion controls... I didn't like it for that either. The motion controls, I thought that was kind of dumb. The button layout was kind of weird. But again, it's just something you got to get used to. That's what I learned when I got older. You know, you got to get used to the controls and understand how it works. You can't just dive into it and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this. Oh, I suck. Oh, it sucks." You know, can't have that mentality. Which is the mistake I made as a kid. Now that I'm more matured and older, I'm like, okay, it's really not that bad. But I think they had great additions to it too, though. Like, never played I think there's like a story mode to it. I don't think it's much of a story. I think it's kind of similar to how Strikers Charges, but I think there's more content you can get. There's more characters you can unlock. You can have more characters to your team. Like, not just one sidekick like before, and it's just multiple versions of it. You can actually have a Monty Mole, a Boo, I think Shy Guy, a Hammer Bro. And the team captains are great. They got Bowser Jr. in there. They got Petey Piranha. And Diddy Kong. They got so many other options that were so good and more characters. And of course, the personalities are the same as vibe as the original. It's so good, edgy and aggressive, and even I think it's even more aggressive than the original. It's got a metal ball as their soccer ball. It's crazy. It's not just a regular soccer ball. It's just a metal flaming ball. So if I played it more, I'm sure maybe it would get up on here, but I the problem is I don't think I see myself playing it much. And it probably should be an A, but I'll put it in low A for now cuz yeah, I don't really see myself playing these games more than it, you know? Especially if I get really into it, you know? But maybe a high B or like that, but I'm going to put it like this for now. If I want to change my opinion, I will, but I think it well deserves right there. Still a great game. I just got to get better at it. And I have a little bit, but I need to replay it and play it again sometime. I'm definitely going to stream it at some point. Give more of a formal opinion on it. But it's really cool that there's like I know there's a stage where there's a flying cow and it could just hit you and tumble you off the stage. It's so cool. Like great ideas like that, man. There's so many great additions they put in there, more than what the original had. So it could definitely be like that, but right now, my opinion stands like this, you know? The original was just so good. I really love the vibe on that one a lot better. Controls and everything. But yeah, that's where it's gonna stand. Next we got Mario Sports Mix. I did stream this not long ago either. Uh, it's got like a mixed reaction for me. Like, it's fun. You'll have a good time with it in some way, shape, or form. But I feel like it's something you'll pick up, play for a bit, and then just kind of toss it away. You know, it it just lacks in something like volleyball and is just slow paced. It's basic volleyball. I mean, you can throw items, but the items that's the problem. The items don't come up enough, I feel like, to make it more chaotic. Can it get chaotic? Sure, it can. But I don't feel like they pop up enough. Uh Hockey is probably the worst out of the bunch. It really is. If not I think volleyball's fine. It works the way it's supposed to. Different. Basketball, I feel like it's just like Mario Hoops 3-on-3 with some good, some bad. Like some for the better, some for the worse. And it sucks to say that because I really like basketball. That's probably my favorite sport out of any sport if I had to pick one, really. Dodgeball is the best one easily. That is the best one for sure. It's very exciting. It's very intense. It's very strategizing for sure. I think anybody who plays it might be like, "Oh yeah, it's okay," but it's not like perfect by all means. So I'm kind of torn if I should put it above 3-on-3 or not. I might put it lower. It just the sports can be kind of boring a little bit. Like it's easily just repetitive and can take a while, you know? I still think it's fine. It lacks though. It lacks a lot. I think I might have to put Dance Dance Revolution above it personally. I really do. I think this game has more potential than Sports Mix. And golf is like I said, it's fine. It's a decent game, but I don't think I will ever play it much. Yeah, I think that's a respected spot for it is right here. And I know, like, this isn't really a sports game, but I'm still gonna add it anyway because it's just different and interesting. So if you wanna, like, be like, oh, well, that's not a sports game, then you could take it out, whatever. But I'm gonna leave it there. I think this is a better spot for it. It's gonna be on the low C with golf compared to these games. It's fine, but not something I would play consistently. Like I said, it just lacks and stuff. It has some good things to it, but it just feels like it's missing something, just more, just a little more to it. Not really much to say about it, really. Can't really talk about it much. It's just kind of there. Oh boy. This next one. Oh boy, yeah. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash for the Nintendo Wii U. I remember being a kid, I was like 14 at the time, maybe 15. I wanted that for Christmas more than anything because that was coming out, and I was like, "Ooh, I love the Mario Tennis 64. I can't wait to play it in HD." It was tennis. It definitely was. It plays fine. Don't get me wrong. The gameplay plays perfectly. It's definitely a working game. Not much of a flaw there. The flaw is it's not a Mario Tennis game. It's really not. It's just tennis with mega mushrooms, which is the mushrooms that make you big. And if not that, then it's just basic tennis. You can actually remove that. It's like, why? And the mega battle doesn't even, or the mega mushroom doesn't even add anything different to the game, except if you're bigger and they're smaller. But if they're both big, which more than likely they're going to be, it's just regular tennis still. It's just kind of the same thing. You don't feel the empowerment of it unless they're small, and it's a very rare chance it ever happens. This game is terrible. I played it and got everything, but I felt like it was kind of a chore. It really was. It plays fine, like I said, but I would probably play like one game and then shut it off and put it away for a couple years, and then do it again. I would just do that with that game, really. I was very sad. Like, I didn't have a formal opinion at that point in time as a kid because I was like, oh, it plays fine. It's really good. But then I just put it away. But then I just thought about it when people talked about how badly this game was. And at first I would criticize and be like, why do they say it's bad? Then they brought up good points. It really does lack. And I thought about it just too. I'm like, well, I never go back and play it. When was the last time I ever like picked it up and just put it in my console? So it's terrible. It's not good. It's the worst out of the bunch for sure. It's bad. It's not good. And the fact that it was like 60, $50 at the time was even more crime, man. That's horrible. So that's what it gets. It gets that. A very strong D. It ain't getting any higher than that. Alright, next game, another tennis game. Of course, another tennis game. Nintendo loves it for so much. Yeah, Mario Tennis Aces for the Nintendo Switch. Now we're on to the Switch games. Definitely an improvement over Ultra Smash. That's 100% given truth, but they took elements from that and improved upon it. That's what it is, essentially. It does have an adventure mode, but the adventure mode is just, hey, let's do some trials. Face the Magic Koopa and beat him, or do 100 rallies or something like that. I think I don't remember, but the story sucked. It didn't add anything to it. They added some additional content later if you participated in the online tournaments. All you had to do was play one game and you get it, whether if you win or lose, which is stupid. So it doesn't even feel rewarding. You just go on there, play one game, and then you put it away. You just put it in, play one game, takes probably less than a minute, and then you just turn off the game. Like, I'm done. Maybe you'll play that new character for a second and just throw it away. Like, it's just, that's what it was. They did add more later on too, like, oh, you can get different colored Yoshis. Oh, you can get the regular Mario instead of the tennis looking one or whatever, but I didn't care. I really didn't. Now, is it a bad game? I don't. It's better. It lacks still. It still has some missing stuff, but the trick shots really carry the game. Really, that's all that really has going for it. And the specials are pretty cool, but every time you see an animation for it as you do it, it's just kind of like a little extra, a little bit. I don't know. I don't think it deserves D, but it's definitely better than Ultra Smash. I would definitely play it more than golf, that's for sure. I have played it more than Sports Mix, so I'll give it higher than that. Over Dance Dance Revolution? I don't think so. I think it's respectful at C tier here. I think this is the good spot for it for now. And maybe if I want to be a little extra and rude, like I'd probably put it down here, low C or high D. But I'm gonna go based on like what I enjoy. Like I said, that's what's on. It's not about like, oh, what's makes a good game, you know? Just based on my sole opinion and what I would play more. So it stays there in the middle. I think that's a decent spot for it. Alright, next we got Mario Golf Super Rush. So excited when this game was coming out. I was like, I'm gonna play the heck out of this game. I'm gonna stream it every week. It's gonna be one of my main focuses when it comes to this game. It's gonna be my main channel focus. I think you can tell, especially if you've been following me for so long, that it is not the main focus of my channel. It really isn't. I probably have like 7 episodes of it, or 7 videos on it. And last one was probably like from like a year or 2 ago. Yeah, that goes to say a lot. You could tell it lacked. It lacked a lot. I did do the story mode. It was not what I expected at all. It was not. I know they had like tournament based, but I thought it would be more tournament based. Really, I thought that was the main focus, was competing against the CPUs and beating like Luigi, Donkey Kong, Mario. You know, it's a fine game, I think, but the courses are just boring and bland and the same, but just textured the same way. That's the same problem with tennis. Like, the courses are just not very unique, really. I mean, they have more uniqueness to Tennis Aces for sure. Golf didn't at all. They just had hey, here's a winter theme. Hey, here's a jungle theme. Oh, we got clouds. That's a little different. It's like, really not. It's just pasted on there. Like, it just feels out of place. It really does. And the main focus of this was the super golf, the speed golf. That's what it's called. Sorry, not super golf. Speed golf. And I thought it would be like Mario Kart theme, like where we got items and you can throw them at people, but you can't. You can't do that. It's just running and collecting coins so you can build up your special. You can mess up somebody else with your golf ball, and it's like, that doesn't add anything. And then managing to get to the ball is sometimes a pain in the ass because you gotta find which path to go, you know? I didn't like it. I did not like it at all. It's not in D. And I think I have played it more than these games. I don't think it's better than Aces. Aces at least tried and they were adapting from it, where this didn't feel like it. The story was definitely better in this, but this had more fun elements to it than Golf did. That's just me personally. Could I say it's better than this? I don't think so, though. I'd actually give Sports Mix a little bit more respect here. I'm gonna have to do that. I would honestly prefer this, but I know like friends are gonna get me to play it, so more than likely I'm gonna play this one more. But it's tough, man. It's so tough. I'm gonna do this. I don't think it deserves the shit tier of D, but yeah, it's not. It plays fine, of course. It plays good. It's just lacking in that content. It doesn't bring me the Toadstool Tour days. It doesn't bring anything new, really. It just it tried. It did its thing, I guess, but they rushed it. They definitely put Super Rush in the right title of the game because it was rushed out. That's for sure. I just expected way more from it. I was really excited for that game, and I was just full of disappointment when it came out and I played it. So excited. I was so like, yes, a new golf. I'm so excited. I was like so happy about it. Then garbage. It was so bad. And like I said, it plays fine. It plays fine. It's just it lacks in the content. If you played these games, you'll understand. All these games had something to it that made you like, wow, that's really crazy and unique and a fun element to the sport. Where this one was just like, it's the sport with Marrow characters, you know? There's reasons why I go back to these, you know? And then we're going to get into another game here, which is the last one. This game. I should play a clip where I was super excited for it. Me and Skies did a reaction on it. If you don't know who he is, he's my good friend that I do a lot of content with. He and I were so pumped for this game. We lost our minds on it. And I'll play the clip now.
Right over there?
Yep, all set, I think.
Perfect. Mine's up. No Man's Sky. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, let's go!
Is this Strikers?
Yeah! Wow, they're actually doing
I'm
it!
gonna put a switch. That's what I'm talking
No
about.
way!
They actually are doing it.
I told you something was gonna come. I told you.
I wanted it so bad. There's no way, dude.
Yes. Now we don't have to do. Yes. Yes.
Finally!
You just got an upgrade, Akon.
We waited so long!
Borb is excited. Like yes. Oh, you know I'm putting my paycheck in this.
Mario Strikers
Battle League!
Battle League.
Oh!
for strike.
I gotta give it more credit, though, over Ultra Smash. At least I think they tried. I think they really tried with this game. I will give them that. I think they tried for the little time they were given. I know some say the gameplay is fine. It's fun. I didn't enjoy the gameplay at all. It's terrible. I did not have a fun experience at all. It's slow-paced. The control mapping was weird. And maybe I gotta get used to the controls for that. But I don't feel like it. If I played it, and I'm like, this experience is boring, I'm not gonna fucking play it. I'm sorry, I don't mean to curse, but even though I do that quite a bit. But anyway, it pisses me off. It really aggravates me. And I had a former friend that was like, yo, when are you gonna get it so we could play it? I'm like, I am not getting it. And then they would, like, not necessarily bitch at me, but they would just kind of be, like, mopey and just criticize me and be like, don't tell me you're one of those people that don't like the character options. Like, it's just too small. And I'm like, I mean, it had that to it, but that's not the only reason I don't want to get the game. I played the demo. That's what I know about this game. I played the demo, and that's what it is. It's a fucking demo, okay? It's just like this. It's a demo. That's the problem with these games. They're a demo that are claimed to be full games, and they're not. Like, sure, you can get additional content by unlocking stuff, but the unlockables, I don't care. It doesn't add anything new. It doesn't give us more fun stuff. It just gives us another character, or, oh, you upgraded your gear. Oh, big fucking deal, man. Who cares? Now, why am I putting this above? Because I said I give it more credit and well-deserved over Ultra Smash, because what I mean by how I think they tried with it was they really put the effort into those animations. I will definitely give it that. The animations are amazing. It's crazy to see how the games have come where we have these more personality, facial expressions to the game more than before, and high quality HD, like stuff we never thought we would see from a Mario game, you know? I really enjoyed those animations, but because animations are good doesn't mean the game is good. It's gonna be far from the truth in what I'm saying right now. I was very disappointed, okay? I could ramble on and on about it, but it was terrible. It was bad. Terrible game. I do not recommend it. It's not worth $60. It's not. And even that former friend that argued with me, he even said this game is, yeah, it's stale. It's like, no shit. I told you that. And you're just, like, claiming that it was better than what I was saying. It's like, hey, you have your opinion on mine. I don't care. But then he was just, like, on board of it pretty quickly after, like, a week. It's like, how do you even say that after a week, first off? I think it was a little longer than that, too. It's like, how did you enjoy that much? But anyway. That's besides the point. Yeah, that's my tier list with the games I have played. Best games ever. Definitely recommend those. These Strikers games are good. Okay, very good. Definitely recommend these games too if you want to have a little fun. Maybe this one I recommend a different term because, you know, it's a handheld. Play it for the story. I think the story's pretty good in it. I believe it has more. It's one of the better story modes from a Mario sports game for sure. These games, I'm sure, like you could say, yeah, they're fine, but I wouldn't really play them much, kind of thing. Or to like, it's lacking, but it's fine, kind of category. These are just don't play, really. These are just bad. You want to play them? Go ahead. You can see what I'm talking about. Majority of people agree with me on it, I'm sure. They're always ranked so low on the list. Now, never played games, or not played games yet. And why did I rank it this way, the left to right? I heard great things about this game. Some people say it's better than Toadstool Tour. I don't have high hopes that it will be, but I have seen a little gameplay on it. It does look fun. I do like the animations and characteristics to them as well. I don't think it would be better than Toadstool Tour, though. That's going to be tough for me to say a game is better than Toadstool Tour. Then we got Power Tennis. I really want to play that game. Or Power Tour. Sorry, not Power Tennis. Sorry, that's the GameCube. But Power Tour, it's kind of have the same vibe to the golf game, where there's like a story to it as well, and stuff. And you be like a character and name it yourself and whatnot. So I'm really interested in playing that too. You could probably even put it here. I think I would probably prefer getting Tennis Power Tour over World Tour personally, because I really want to play it. I really liked the idea of this, and then possibly in a tennis form. I'm sure it's fun. It should be great. And I already talked about World Tour golf, so I don't have to talk about it. These I have no clue. They're kind of tied. It doesn't matter. They're kind of in the same category. Like, ooh, I would try them, but I think tennis would be probably better out of both of them, though. I think it would be controlled a lot better, and maybe golf is fine. Maybe it is, but I heard it lacks something, and it kind of has that same image of this here, so I'm sure it's kind of very similar to the 64 version, which I said before in my opinion on it, where it could be tough and something. So NES Open, so Mario Golf game, I think that's where it all started. I don't know anything about it. I played regular golf on NES. That was really fun. I enjoyed that game. I still did. Really fun game. So that's probably why I put it here. Like, yeah, it probably. I'm sure it has like a similar vibe to it, you know. Sure, it's fun. It's fine. It's nothing crazy, but I'm sure it's fun. Pinball Land. It sounds interesting. I'm sure it's just like pinball, but maybe it's got a special tweak to it. I never looked at gameplay of it. Like I said, I didn't even know there was a pinball. So I think that'd be very interesting to play for sure. Tennis Open. I'm pretty sure it's a 3DS version of Ultra Smash. I've heard it's kind of under that category. I think some people like it, some people don't. People are kind of mixed on it. I think I wouldn't care for it. I really don't think I would care for it too much. I just don't have high hopes for it. I'm sure it's probably better than Ultra Smash, but I don't see it being a game I really want to go out my way to play. Virtual Boy. I mean, I could see some fun into it for sure, but this is tennis, by the way, if you can't read it. It's Mario Tennis, Virtual Boy. I've seen, like, the color. It's all red, and obviously it's on an older console, and that doesn't have to do anything. Like, an older console could be fun. It's just, I don't know. I don't feel like looking at a red screen forever. I feel like that's just kind of offsetting a little bit. I think they put a lot of artwork into the character designs. Like, they look decent even for just being red, for sure. Like, from what I saw, but I don't think I would play it, you know? Not something I would really go out my way to really try. I'd probably try it over Open. I think I only put it down here because this had more colors to it, but that's kind of stupid. So I feel like this would probably be a little more fun in a way. I feel like I would enjoy more time with that. And then why this game is down here. I never played it for myself, but watching Scott the Woz and his review, I'm never going to touch it. They took soccer. Oh, they already done that, you know? Just like Scott the Woz said, they already did that. They had baseball in there. They already done that too. Golf, they did as well. Why do they got golf in there? Why do they also have tennis? That's four. There's 4 sports right there, and that's every single one of them except for one more: horseback riding. That is the only new one they added to it, and from what I saw, it's stupid. I'd rather just to get that game, just to play horseback riding is not worth it to me. It really isn't. And the gameplay looks boring as hell. It takes from most of these Switch games the boring physics and mechanics. Takes away the fun out of all the Mario games. I feel like they just rushed it just to have a Mario sports game out there. So, yeah, I'm never gonna touch this game. So, that is my tier list. This is probably the worst one. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna put it right there. It's terrible. I don't have to play it to know that it's bad. I know it's bad. Dumb. It's a sorry excuse for a game, really. Anyway, that is my tier list. What do you guys think? I hope I described the games well enough for you guys to understand my point of views and why I like these games and why some of them are bad or some that are decently good but lack something or don't catch my interest as much, or why I wouldn't play it very often. Is there something that you disagree with? Let me know. I would like to hear other people's opinions and wonder what they think. If maybe you guys agree with me, it's perfectly fine. But at least hopefully I brought up some solid points. If you guys think I don't have good points, sure, let me know. But I probably won't change my opinion. I'm standing where I think I stand with these games. Like I said, I think some of these games could adjust if I played more. Like, I could see this being here. I could see this going up in A. I don't know if I would like it more than these, though. Maybe I'm a little too harsh on this game nowadays. It could be up and higher up here as well, but I can't. Golf could probably be higher too, but I'm gonna stick with what I got here. So, anyway, I'm gonna done explaining myself. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you enjoyed the tier list video, because I wanted to do more. I want to talk more about the games themselves and appreciate them for their actual game, and actually explain myself, because I think it's good to explain yourself on why a game is good, why it's bad, why it's like it's fine. You know, you gotta look at the details, the small details of what makes a game good or bad, whether you agree or disagree. I think it's just important, and then just say, "Oh, this game's bad. Why is it bad? I don't know. It's just bad." No, that's stupid. To me, that's just kind of dumb. You gotta have a good explanation. But hey, I mean, everybody has their cup of tea, so like what you like. Anyway, I'm done. I'm sorry. I'll probably edit a lot of this out. I got a lot of editing to do because there's so much noise in the background because people have no self-respect. But anyway, have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.